Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Mason. I'm a longtime VGC competitor and longtime Incineroar hater, and this is the Union Room. With me, I have my guest, Brayden. Brayden, welcome to the show.
Oh.
All right, Brayden, what does Pokemon mean to you?
I'd say Pokemon to me, it just is. I mean, the game itself, like the playing through like the normal like mainline games, it's like a little magical. You catch your little friends, you can spend time with them. Um, the competition's awesome. It's just like a great way to pass some time. You get to um, like train your mind, play strategy games. Community's all great. I've met so many awesome people through playing VGC, and it's such a like a unifier of people. Like there's so many different people that like Pokemon, whether it's nerds like us playing competitively, whether it's just a person that plays Pokemon Go. My little cousins, they're obsessed with Pokemon. They have like all the games. And it's just fun that there's like a common thing that between these people that don't have that much in common.
I agree. Pokemon is definitely a good unifier. I have seen that a lot through either being at a local event or going to a larger regional. People are connected in some way to the game, whether it's cards or maybe Pokemon Go. There's just always something for people to engage with and talk about. And even some language barriers are able to be broken in some way about connecting to one thing in particular. So how would you say you balance Pokemon in college? I know you've recently done a couple of events, nothing too crazy, but obviously, that's still very impressive managing a professional college experience and also being able to travel out and compete in a competitive scene like that. So what's that like and how do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it balance. I definitely put much more priority on school and college. I'm a sophomore, and I've just gone, in my 2 years of college, I've just gone to one regional each year so far. I went to Louisville last year because I was able to borrow my grandma's car. I go to Purdue, just go to Midwestern ones that are easy to drive to. So I went to Louisville, and then this year I went to Milwaukee. And I am planning on going to Indianapolis. So just like the Midwestern ones that are easy to drive to, I can maybe miss like a few classes one day. Um, but I also found that compared to when I was in high school, I I don't play VGC like ladder or online as much as I did because of less time, but with focusing on college. So when there's a regional coming up, I'll like start playing ladder like a few weeks before after like a long hiatus of not playing. I guess I have lower expectations for myself because I'm less tuned in, plugged in online. I'm in one VGC draft league that I just consistently play through that since I was a freshman in high school. That's crazy. It's been like 6 years. I joined the collegiate VGC league. I don't know if you know about that, Mason, where just like a bunch of different colleges or VGC players in college, they'll be like I'm on a Midwest team because there's not enough people from Purdue itself. Maybe you could join that because you're in the Midwest. I played the last 2 seasons, but this season I'm on a team. I've just been really busy, and I really don't like reg F as much. I've kind of just waiting for champions. So I've kind of just been like on the team to play if needed. Haven't had to play this season, but it's nice just being in the Discord and typing out my teammates, just with everyone. So that's about how I balance it. With definitely focus on school, but I try to make time to go to one or two regionals.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard of that Midwestern VGC stuff. I've seen some local esports stuff going on with our team here at St. Xavier specifically, but they don't have anything for Pokemon, and I haven't seen anything. So for you to mention that, that's super cool. That's an outlet I didn't even know college kids had. That's really interesting. What is that like then? What is competing in that feel like? Is it similar to what you'd see at a regional, or is it a different experience?
No, so it's all online. It feels more like a draft league to me. I know there's other leagues that are similar where you just play through I think the USPA, but I'm not super in tune with those, where you just matched up a team against the team. You'll have however many people play each week. You'll do a best of 3 VGC, and then whoever wins more for each team wins that week. So the past 2 seasons, the team was pretty big. So I played and just because of busy college, I played 2 or 3 games each season throughout like 6 week season or something like that. And it's just like a normal, like I'll practice a bit, have a team, find the time and play the game and it's fun. But and then like this season I just haven't been playing. But the team's been it's interesting because my first season I joined, I don't know which season of the CVL it was. There was we were Midwest 1 and Midwest 2 for the 2 teams, and we have like a shared Discord server for just like all the Midwest people. Then last season, there was enough Midwestern people just from the state of Wisconsin, or it became a Wisconsin and Midwest 1 team, or just Midwest. They didn't all go to like UW Madison, but it was just various UWs. This season, there was enough for a Wisconsin team and 3 separate Midwest teams. But the teams are a lot smaller. Like I think there's only like 6 people on Midwest 1 now, or before there was a lot, like 9 plus. So it's cool to see how it keeps getting bigger, and we're all still on the Discord server, so there's like much solidarity between the teams. We'll be cheering for each other in different brackets, and it was super fun. Like I met up at Milwaukee, I met up with some people from the Midwest and Wisconsin team, so we got a picture together.
That's really cool. It's cool to have people connect in that way. My father recently went to the Seattle Regional, and he is now working within AWS and Amazon systems, and he was able to meet with some people from other data centers that all enjoy Pokemon in some way, so they all keep in contact. It's really interesting. I'd love to hear more about that. But actually, you have a unique experience competing within those draft leagues. That's not something you see very often. At least I haven't heard of it that much. It's not a scene that I'm particularly big in. So what is that like, and what do you like about it specifically?
Yeah, so it started way back when, like during current COVID, when I first got into VGC I watched the like top 8 whatever videos from the regionals in 2020, which I guess must have been before COVID. And I started watching Wolfie videos, as did most people until I got into VGC. I just appeared my YouTube recommended. And I saw him playing, I like watched through all his old WBE singles videos and WBE VGC. And I was like, this looks really fun. I'd want to do that. And some guy on the VGC Reddit posted like, hey, I'm looking to start up a VGC draft league to join. So I was like, sure, I'll do that. So I joined. We like the first season. It's called the VBL. It's kind of just like a generic name, like VGC Battle League. It originally started as VGC Beginner League because most people weren't that experienced. And that, like I said, so that was our first season was in fall of 2020, so forever ago. And now we're on our 18th season. I actually just had my match right before this.
Whoa.
Because we just consistently, we'll do however many weeks. Like it started at 8, 9, like anywhere from like 7 to 9 weeks. And with some little breaks in between. So I guess 18 divided by 5.5, like about 3 seasons a year. And I've just been consistently doing that for a while. Just every week, I just need to spend a little bit of time prepping a team and then scheduling the guy playing. But it's really fun. Like the community's been built up so much over the years. It's just really cool to see. Like I actually wrote my college essay about my experience with VBLS and my experience with our. You remember the senior Discord server?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my experience with that and how both of those helped me like mature into the person I am now. I'm thinking, and it's all really cool. And now, at Purdue, they actually have a club that's a singles track league that I joined. So I'm not that good at singles, but because of my VGC knowledge, I've been able to. I just like know the game. So we'll pick it up a little bit. Super fun as well. I'd say while I really enjoy like playing and like prepping for specific matchups, coming up with all that, the community is definitely what I like more, and just all the super nice people you'll meet. And like you mentioned earlier, like from around the world, like with language barriers. Like I've played against British people, French people, Australian, um, someone from the Philippines, bunch of Canadians, like so many different people where honestly it was like my first time interacting with that many people from different countries. So it's been awesome.
Heck yeah. It was interesting from our year of 2022, like our big year. You went to how many regionals did you go to that year?
I only went to two, but it was my first year. I mean, it was the first year back after COVID, so it was my first year competing. Um,
There were several
and
kids from farther from different areas and different regions, and it was like my first time interacting with people like kind of outside of our country, and it was cool to see it expand to such a degree that we have people coming in for international tournaments, even if they aren't like major events. Now, obviously, regionals are especially now they've gotten a lot bigger. But like I've just never seen that before. When I was competing back in 2018 for my like first two seniors years, like it was all just kids from like around St. Louis, and that was kind of it. So for people to branch out in that kind of way was really unique. Now, you also have been competing since you were a teenager, and that experience within itself is quite unique. What would you say that experience is like?
um, I think when I was first getting into it, it was a little weird just because everyone else was like when I first started that draft league, I was like the youngest person because I was like 15 or whatever. Um, and everyone else was an adult. And this is really like I'd been online before. This is my first time meaningfully just like regularly interacting with other people, just like that I haven't met in person. Um, So I know there's the whole like stereotypical like stranger danger stuff for kids going online. I was like, I don't know, just like learning how to deal in the draft league. And then with VGC, it felt a little weird because it was just so small for seniors. At first, like it's gotten so much bigger over the past few years. But like my first two regionals that I went to, where that you were there, it was like 12 people and 14 people, seniors divided. And also it's like off to the side, sometimes it's both on Saturday, sometimes both on Sunday, sometimes they split it. It just seemed like kind of overlooked, and that's part of why I started that senior Discord was to build a community of people closer to our age, where especially because we're younger, we're probably not traveling as much for the tournament and to meet other people our age. So it was really cool as that first got started, making new friends of a similar interest. And then it kind of got a little out of hand, went on, but those first 2 years or so, it was awesome. And then now, I guess, yeah, as an adult, I know like I'm 20 and it's still weird to think that I'm an adult. Um, it's just different. Like looking back, I have so many good memories, like my growing years. But and now, though, it's like, oh, my dad doesn't have to go to a tournament with me. I'm driving myself. I'm like getting my own hotel, and it's weird.
It is weird. It kind of shows you like you growing up in a way where you're able to branch out further from where you were originally. Actually, it sucks to see how small the juniors and seniors division is because back in 2016 when I went to NAIC, that was my first time going. The juniors division was actually larger than any of the seniors division brackets I played in after 2020, which is crazy to see, but it makes sense. Pokemon was inaccessible for a lot of people. You know, if you're gonna compete with some like family members or something, you need to have more than one Switch, and the Switch is expensive. Like, not many families are going to be buying multiple Switches for people, as opposed to how they were doing with 3DSs, where you know several kids would have 3DSs or just regular DSs within one home. So it's nice to see that layer of or that barrier. Oh gosh, the barrier of entry has been removed in some way with Champions, with it being both mobile and on Switch. I think Switch is releasing first, but it's going to remove a barrier of entry where a lot of people can just hop in and play for maybe the first time if they don't know about Showdown in some way. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Now, talking about the 3DS games and some of the earlier stuff, what was your first Pokemon game? Like, what was your first major experience within Pokemon? What was your generation?
So, kind of funny. And I like in hindsight and how into Pokemon I am now, it's still kind of funny. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Brick, Bronze, on Roblox. Because I watched like my favorite Minecraft YouTubers back in the day, like DanTDM and Pigtails or whatever. They played it, and like I knew about I wasn't a huge Pokemon fan as a kid. Like I sort of liked it. I like played Pokemon Go. I knew some of the basics. I occasionally watched, but not that much. But I got so into Pokemon Brains, and I was addicted to the game. It was so fun. And then I played X and Y on yeah. I didn't have a 3DS, but I figured out other ways to play the game. I don't know if I should talk about too much on just public thing, but that was and I enjoyed those. And that's actually like sort of my generation. That's kind of the games that people really like grew up with. So I have that like nostalgia for them that other people do, even though I didn't actually like grow up with them. They seemed interesting to me, so that's why I played them first.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of actually my first Nintendo console, my like grandma had a Wii. Well, okay, sorry, I'm just gonna. My grandma had a Wii, and I occasionally played just like Mario Kart at her house. I did have a DSi, but I didn't really play Nintendo games on it. I played like Lego Star Wars. And then I never ended up really playing much on it since then. Like it was kind of, I don't know, I just didn't play much. But then from YouTube and stuff, I just learned more about Nintendo games and Zelda and Mario and more Pokemon. And it all looked really fun. So I got a Switch in like 2019 for Christmas, like right when Sword and Shield came out, which was my first Nintendo console, and I played Shield and got other Nintendo games. It was awesome. This is when I first started playing video games a lot, and it's been like more of my identity. But so Brick, Bronze, X and Y, Sword and Shield. Then like a few years later, I got an old DS and I played through Ultra Sun and Moon. And there's been so many different times where I've like started some of the older Pokemon games, or I think I've started basically every game. Like I played a little bit Red and Crystal on my calculator. I like did the little logs. I thought it was so cool during middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to start like randomized runs, all the games. I once was playing around with like ROM hacks, and I made a version of Emerald with a custom Pokemon that was just a baguette.
Okay, interesting.
I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if I still have that file or not. It like kind of worked and kind of didn't. Like it had stats and moves, and the in battle sprite were all correct, but like in the box it still was a Trico.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of funny. And then I played through all the modern Switch games except Brilliant Diamond and Pearl. So I'm definitely more of like a new age Pokemon player, but I played through like half White on the DS. So that's like, I mean, it's still only 5 through 8, but of the pre-3DS era, I guess that's the one I played the most of.
I see. Yeah, I feel like you came in around a time where Wolf definitely, I think, opened up VGC to a whole different community through the animators that were popular at the time or before that during like 2016 up through I'd say 2022 when they stopped being as popular with Jade animations and all of that. And it was a great way to get more people in. I think after that it exploded. Dallas in 2020 had maxed out, and that was the first time a regional had ever reached player cap, which was something I've never seen before. You know, since 2012, I've not seen that, and to see it was something insane. And now we're having almost 1,000 masters join within one regional. That's insane. It never ever got that big. So to see that now is inspiring. Going back to traveling with VGC, like what was your favorite memory? Like what are some things that you look back on fondly, and you know, just some things you might either miss or things you'd want to do later on?
I wish I had gone to more tournaments in 2022, like my 1 year in seniors, because I mean, seniors it was like so much easier, and then masters, and like my first two tournaments, like 4-0 Swiss and I lost the top four, and then the other one I lost in finals to you. Like obviously it's 12 and 14 people, so it's like very small, but like just between those two tournaments, I qualified for Worlds that year, and I wish I had been able to like go to NAIC, go to Worlds, and if I really pushed it, I probably could have. It just was the first year competing, and I didn't know much about it, so I only went and tried to go to Indianapolis and Milwaukee because they were the closest to me, because I'm from a Chicago area.
I see.
Um, like I was telling my friend we were talking about going to Worlds this year as like spectators,
Mm-hmm.
and I was saying just like it didn't really like it wasn't too realistic then, but I really wish I hadn't gone to Worlds in London the year because the year I qualified, because that's like almost definitely the only year like I'm probably never going to qualify again. I think like I'm not. I think if I really put my mind to it, maybe, but I don't want to go to that many tournaments. Like although I really enjoy VGC, I just prioritize like normal life a little more. So I wish I'd been able to take advantage of the opportunity. But when it comes to favorite memory, it was probably Peoria. 20, what year was it? It was my senior year of high school, so 2023 fall. Um, this was what is it? I brought a friend who from my high school who like knew a little bit about VGC. He hadn't really gone to any tournaments, but he like watched Wolfie. I got him watching Moxie Boosted to help get ready, and like knew enough to where he goes to a lot of Smash tournaments, so it wasn't like anything new to him. But I brought him, and this was like still when the seniors just like even though we were in Masters, I still had a lot of seniors friends. Um, just because of when like I was only 1 or 2 years removed, and that's definitely one of the like most social events I've been to. Where just like I had a lot of friends there. We talked a lot. I have some really good pictures. I had a pretty good event. I went like 6-3, losing my win in it. And it was just super fun overall. I remember because neither of us were 18 yet. My dad had to drive down. Like we drove up 4 a.m. Because it was like our homecoming week, and my friend was in the band, so he had to be at the football game the night before.
Oh, okay.
So we drive up that early, and then so we drove down like 4 a.m. to get there at like 7 or whatever to check in and be ready for the tournament. That started like 8:20, whenever it was, and then at the lunch break, we met my dad who drove down. It's like 3 hours. Who drove down separately just to check us into the hotel because that was 18. And I mean, it was so nice of him to do that because he didn't want to stay for a tournament with us. He just drove down 3 hours and drove back up, and it was just super nice of him. And it was just a great experience overall. Okay.
Heck yeah. I mean, for me, Pokemon has been a very family thing. So for your father to allow you to kind of go off on your own and do that, and you know, support you guys in some way, whether it was, you know, being there or picking up your friend or something, you know what I mean? That's nice of him. Now, you brought up the fact about like being an adult now and life kind of getting in the way of competing and traveling, and it's harder now to reach a invite to Worlds because now you need to be ranked top 50 within the U.S. and Canada, if I remember specifically. So it's even harder now when it used to just be 500 CP. Now players are reaching 1,000, and that's within just the top 25, and then after that, like the lowest is like 800. So it would be significantly harder now. But since you are a college student, is there anything you do outside of Pokemon? Like, are there other esports, or is there something else that you're like working on personally?
I don't have any special projects or like a hobby. Like Pokemon is definitely my most interesting hobby. Um, I'm in the sports analytics club. That's pretty fun. I've kind of just been like focused on school because I'm triple majoring in computer science, math, and classical studies.
Wow.
So it's just been all busy. Like definitely put a focus on academics and all that. But I also like to play D&D. That's another hobby. I've been saying a lot. You can cover that in the video. But sorry about that.
You're all good.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of hang out like usual, hang out with friends, doing school. Just like that.
I get you. No, so I get that. I'm a college student myself. I am doing athletics. I'm not majoring in three things. I couldn't imagine. That sounds super duper hard. But Pokemon is something that has kind of led me to where I am today. It's taught me to aspire for more and to go for more. What would you say to kids who are getting into it, or maybe to parents who are on edge about letting their kids compete? Like, what would you say to them and, kind of give an idea of what the community is like and how it is so beneficial being a younger player or competitor and to aspire for more?
I would say if you're on the fence about going to a tournament or letting your kid go to a tournament, definitely do it. Like I said before, I wrote my college essay on my experience with Pokemon, and like I think that playing Pokemon, going to tournaments, and doing all these draft leagues helped like make me who I am today, and helped me grow a lot as a person. Both there's like the social aspect of if you're a parent of kids, your parent kids can make friends with similar interests. And it's really fun if it'll allow them to maybe meet kids from other countries and like expand their world a little bit. It's also just like a really fun thing to do to compete, and the whole community, basically everyone I've met has been super welcoming, super friendly. And there's like even what was it like when I went to Milwaukee this year, most of my close friends that play Pokemon weren't there, but there's still been people I met or people I didn't even know or just met online that I met there, and I still was able to talk to people and have a great time despite not having like anyone to lean on. And like the first time will be a little tough if you don't know anyone, but then you'll meet people, and then the next time you know these people and you meet more people, and they'll introduce you to more people, and it'll compound exponentially. You have a great group of friends to talk to and share this passion with.
I think that's a great way to sum it all up. All right, Brayden, thank you for meeting with me. I really appreciate it. I love getting to hear about people's experiences within Pokemon. It's been something that's very important to me and has guided me from the age I was like 6 years old up to now. So it has been very important to me. So I'm glad to see it branch out to other people. And it was always great seeing competitors like you and a lot of the other kids that were in that senior group chat, kind of collaborate together and become friends over time. That's kind of what the Pokemon games as a whole try to encapsulate. And so it's great to see that in the real world. All right, Brayden, thank you so much.
Thank you.